Do you remember that stone at the start of Dark Souls 2 that told you how many times people have died in it, just to let you know how hard it is? That is exactly what Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy is about. When you start it up, it will tell you that you should feel frustrated before you even know what you're supposed to be frustrated about. In the first few minutes that you're learning the control scheme or messing up on your first obstacle, the game will throw out comments like, "Oof, you lost a lot of progress. What a punch in the gut." And "Feel free to pause and take a breath." What I found annoying about Get Over It isn't its difficulty, but Bennett Foddy's self-assurance that it's difficult, and therefore deep. This is pushed so much at the start that it ends up making the game's defining characteristic come off as lame and pretentious. Fall down even a little bit on the mountain, and Bennett Foddy will fire off pretension on all cylinders, quoting from C.S. Lewis, Abraham Lincoln, and Shakespeare while some jazz plays in the background.
The soul would have no rainbow had the eyes no tears. John Vance Cheney.
Because you just know he's an avid reader of their works and didn't find these out-of-context quotes on Goodreads.com or something. At one point, a folk song started playing about having a bad day, and my eyeballs just about rolled off my face. Going down the road feeling bad. I'm going down the road feeling bad. As a person who's actually quite used to having to completely restart from scratch in video games, as all my hours in XCOM and Hotline Miami 2 can show you, I can tell you that these constant assumptions over my supposed frustration, paired with the dev's desperate attempts to stroke his ego, is more insulting to my intelligence than anything. I mean, the dev is blowing his load almost immediately about his game's message before the context from the gameplay has even settled in. Anyway, while your climb progresses, Bennett will talk about his game's inspiration, sexy climbing, and how it was so hard that many people couldn't get over the first tree in their path. Now, rather than talk about sexy hiking's poor collision detection, or the stiff controls, or the unpredictability of using your hammer, or the fact that it looks and plays like a shitty Newgrounds game from 2002, because that's almost exactly what it is, Bennett explains it as there being a certain truth in that lack of compromise and how every pixelated object in sexy hiking feels real. Yeah, I'm not buying it. A common assumption a casual observer might make is that Getting Over It could be attempting to be self-aware or a parody, but these messages are delivered so frequently with such sincerity that the condescension and intentions become obvious. Very little does Getting Over It try to raise any funny points about game design or use self-referential humor, and instead plays itself straight by unironically citing poetry and well-known authors to push a message. And look, I get the idea Bennett is pushing here. Success is earned, the only real failure comes from giving up, sometimes you mess up and have to start from scratch and all that jazz. The thing is, this isn't a deep message. In fact, plenty of games teach us these things subconsciously without saying a word. Even if you think your message is absolutely critical, there's still an importance to employing the art of subtlety. Try to shove that message down my throat with pompous nonsense in the first 5 minutes, and I promise it will have the complete opposite effect of what you intended. To finish this off, I'm positive that this video may be the first time some viewers I know have ever seen the game, and may show interest in playing it, so let me be fair toward it a little bit. If you turn off the voice, subtitles, and music, you have a fairly fun game here. Moving your guy with your mouse makes for a deceptively simple control scheme at first, but will soon require mastery and precision as time goes along. Certain tricks will have to be learned and perfected to get through some sections. And Foddy did place some barriers below, so you don't always fall down to the start if you mess up. Getting Over It has an addictive quality to it, no matter how many times you fall down. And I honestly don't have a problem saying that I'd like to try and complete it. This video is less of a criticism of the game and more of a critique of Bennett Foddy, or at least the execution of his ideas in this game. From what I can gather, Getting Over It exists to make a statement about the value of patience and perseverance. But this statement has been made time and time again elsewhere with far more grace and impact.
I'm gonna let you be for a little bit.